episode number 3.
Feeling nice, cooking up what's a fiery spice. Jerk chicken, yes please. Sizzle, sizzle, that hit.
Grenadine. You see that? Grenadine. Grenadine. Good for the holidays from the Caribbean. Put this in your drink. Flavor it to syrup. Grenadine. Most products used around the world added flavor from food and your drink. That's today's sponsor, guys. My body butter is almost done. Let me get it still for the holiday. Right? Got my lashes on for you today. You guys ready for the weekend? It's almost Friday. Happy Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve, guys. What you guys got planned? You guys going out? What you guys got planned for the weekend? It's almost the holidays. It's December already. Can you believe in about 5 minutes, everybody, we're going to be blinking our eyes talking about Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Shout out TikTok. Starshine, Miss Larkin. Hey, Susie, I just sent you a text. I see you popping up. You going to have, what are you doing? You going out tonight? You going to Boatyard? Anyway, I'm back to review episode number 3 of The Reckoning by 50 Cent on the Diddler. Man, let me tell you, a lot of people are upset. There are a lot of different emotions going around. Hold on 1 second, I answer this text. Okay. There's a lot of different emotions going around, guys. How you guys feel about it? Let me know in the comments. Some people are calling cap. Someone's like, oh, it's a lie. We already heard the story. We already know the story about East Coast, West Coast beef. We already know the story about who started what, who did what, who threatened who. They feel like it was a waste of time. A lot of people felt like they just wanted to see a lot more stuff that had happened during the case. They were looking for more salacious. I think they thought it was going to be more like an R. Kelly. Is R. Kelly getting out? Did I hear he's working on an appeal or something? They were just trying to make it sound like it wasn't what a lot of people were expecting. And I don't think they're going to take it off Netflix because Netflix said they vetted it in a legal way. I think he was doing his own documentary and he had his own film crew filming him. And when he got arrested, I guess Netflix or whoever offered him some money. So he took the check. He took the check. I found this today in the midst of me cleaning my house. This was a poem. Maybe I'll read it one day. This was a poem that was written to me. You see how I signed? Tupac Amar Shakur. Right there. Tupac. I'll read it one day. I was cleaning up some papers and I found it. So he's speaking to me through the Holy Spirit. Through the Holy Spirit. He's in my presence and in my heart at all times. And this is just creating this document. If 50 Cent, if his goal was just to stir some emotions, or to trigger a conversation piece, he definitely won. Because you got news reporters talking, ABC, NBC, all the podcasters, of course. I'm going to restrict the research, approaches, and the eligibility standards, community guidelines, support your use of experience. I don't know. TikTok. My phone is blowing up. Every time I go live, I start getting calls. Anyway, I'm getting notifications on TikTok. Guys, I got to keep it clean. I was in YouTube copy strike. Sometimes they put me in TikTok jail. The subject matter experts, I gotta follow the community guidelines, guys. So you guys are gonna have to, when I say blank, blickety blank, y'all are gonna have to find a way to fill in the blank. You just make it up. But Now people's upset. Even Misa's like, I'm upset. Why is Eric Sherman on there? Why does he have to be talking about our relationship? Da, 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 da. I guess 50 was being petty. I'm supposed to talk about episode number 3, but guys, I got ADD, so I'm gonna be bouncing. I'll watch the whole 4 hours, so I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth. But I guess 50 Cent was trying to say, look, money, power, respect. You have money. He was goofy as a kid. They used to call him in Mount Vernon when he was growing up in high school. They used to call him Horseface. You know, like a horse with his big teeth. Like, they called him Horsey. I'm talking about Puffy. Before he was Puffy, he was called Horsey. They used to draw pictures of horses and be like, that's what you look like. Mean. Kids could just be mean. You know what I mean? Let's see what he looked like as a kid. I'm being a troll right now. I'm being like 50. I'm being a complete troll. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up a picture and you guys let me know if or not he looked like a horse. Horse face. Kids are so mean. Guys, making for dinner. I just finished cooking. I had a busy day. Okay, here's his high school picture. I think it's high school. Or is this junior high? Let's see if I can share this picture. Hold on. I'm so bad. I'm not right. You look like a horse? You got a horse face here? He doesn't have a horse face. It's just that he could never close his upper lip and he was like a little buck tooth, so his teeth would stick out. Anyway, they used to call him Horsey. Why am I going there? I don't know. So I guess basically what I'm trying to say, when men are insecure or get teased, when little boys get teased by other women, they call you whatever, ugly or bucktooth or 4-eye or whatever, it's going to create a certain amount of insecurity unless you're very overconfident. And most kids probably don't get any confidence until they go and they do sports. So I guess with Diddy felt like, hey, I got a little money. I got teased. Remember Biz Markie made that song, You Caught the Vapors, right? Biz Markie, that's what that song was all about, catching the vapors. You didn't like me before. I became famous. I got some money. I got a nice car. Now you want to be my girlfriend or my friend. So you caught the vapors, right? So I guess 50 Cent felt some kind of way because he was like, Puffy's trying to take everyone's girlfriend to show that he's got the power, that he has something on top of you that nobody else has, right? Because first it's Eric Sherman's with Misa. So he took Misa because he had money. So he took Eric Sherman's girl. And a lot of people were just complaining like it's a waste of time. No one cares about Eric Sherman. Why is he even in the documentary, right? Then he goes on I'll Be Shores with Kim Porter. So then he goes and Kim Porter didn't want nothing to do with him when he became more famous and successful. Then eventually he gets I'll Be Shore's girl. Then there's a part in the story about he was in Atlanta and he bought some girl. Mark Curry was saying he bought a girl. He spent $50,000. So you're robbing all your artists. You want your artists to starve, to feed into your ego because you don't want anyone to be successful. You don't want anyone to have money. You don't want anyone to be better than you because you're afraid that they're going to leave you. So in order to control them, you keep them broke. You keep them broke and needy and you starve them or you blackball their career. So in the midst of robbing all your artists, you take your money and what are you doing? Spending it on other men's women to get them. He did the same thing with Cassie and Ryan Leslie. She was with Ryan Leslie. Then he took her from him. And then who was the other one? And then I'm missing someone. Kim Porter from I'll Be Sure. So there's a part in the documentary that he's in Atlanta and there's some girl that Sugar's seeing. So he goes, oh, let's go to jewelry store and buy this girl a necklace worth $50,000 because I want to take her from Suge Knight. So you don't really care about any of these women. You don't want to marry any of these women. You don't want to stay and raise kids with these women. You just want to take them so you're robbing your artists to take the money to go buy other women. See the mindset? He's definitely arrogant and very off. So I guess 50 Cent with this documentary was like the buck stops here. You may play all that with those other guys and take their girls and everything, but the difference with 50 had a child with this woman. You guys already know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about, what was her name? Jane Doe. She testified under the pseudonym Jane Doe. You know who she is. I'm not gonna say her name. And 50 Cent has a child, and I know most men, if they have children, especially daughters, they're gonna worry about who does this woman have my child around, my daughter around, my son around. And if he was into all the shenanigans allegedly that he was into, 50 Cent probably was like, well, you could play these games or these shenanigans with other people, but he was like, you're not gonna do that with me. So I think this was just a big payback. I think this was definitely a payback. Plus, he got a check. What did they say? It's the number one show on Netflix. I know before that, the number one show was the Central Park Five, How They See Us. That one, when Ava DuVernay, when she dropped that just went through the roof. The ratings went through the roof. But you got to understand, with Netflix, it's coming in multiple language. Assalamu alaikum. Ni hao mom. It's coming in hola, como esta. It's coming in, German, Russian, guten Tag, karashu, Russian, Germany, Arabic, Chinese, Spanish, como esta, like multi-languages. So I think for the old school hip hop heads like myself, anyone from the golden era, anyone from the Bronx, anyone age 40 and up, we've been there, done that, seen that, done that. We're bored. We heard everything. Nothing's really surprising us, right? Some of us are just feeling like it's a waste of time. But if you're a younger audience, if you're someone younger, then it's going to spread the narrative. And I don't think we've ever seen it in one collective. Like, we knew bits and pieces of the stories. It would come, J-Lo come and go, City College come and go, Shine come and go, this, that, come East Coast, West Coast, but to put it all together from beginning to end in 4 hours. He didn't get into much about him and his mother doing blank, blank, blickety, blickety, blank. Guys, y'all are we're going to be blickety, blickety, blank because YouTube, y'all are not taking me down today. I was all blickety, blickety, blank. His mother, they didn't go into the documentary. If I was on the team, I wish I was on the team. I'd be like, now, wait a minute. Y'all touched on his mother in the early years, but wasn't he getting hydrated? Him and his mother getting hydrated with the IV drips, kissing on the mouth. He didn't touch into that. So, what else? Misa was mad. She didn't want to be in the doc. People were like, Eric Sherman shouldn't be in the doc. That was a waste of time. They're saying now, shout out to Choke No Joke. He was mad. He's pretty good. I'm gonna drop his link down below if you want to watch Choke No Joke, because he was saying how the whole Jake and the Jamaican, the beef, that wasn't really truly tied to Diddy. And I did hear that. I can't explain it, so I'm gonna just leave the link below, or I could probably play some of it on my phone, but will I get a copyright? Hold on, let me see if he was just mad. He was just like, I'm gonna just leave the link. I'm not gonna play it because I don't know the part to play it, and I don't know the part to play, and then I don't want to get a strike. So anyway, I'm gonna leave the link below for Choke No Joke. But he breaks down the whole thing, how he feels that they were trying to pin the whole Jake. I think that was episode 2, right? When they go to the East Coast, West Coast beef, and they're talking about how when Jake got unalived. I'm going to leave the link, but I did hear that the Keefe D trial, so the Keefe D trial is coming up in February 2026. Remember, he broke the proffer agreement, and They delayed the trial. Now, Foxy Brown is supposed to get subpoenaed to come testify, but I don't know. Foxy Brown may be like Little Kim and be like, "I ain't no snitch. I'm not going to testify. I'm not no snitch. I'm not gonna say anything, right?" Because she may just do that code of honor. But then remember, they saying that she's deaf. I don't know if she wears hearing aids or she got it fixed or whatever. Allegedly. Okay, let me throw that in there. I don't know if she's gonna get subpoenaed to testify. I don't even think she would. Honestly, for being such, she never spoke anything bad about Jay-Z. She's kind of being the cut. She never really flaunted her relationship with Spragga Benz. She's been so far removed and just having a kind of a low. I don't even think she would go. Uh, she supposedly went into Zip's car and saw the secret compartment where the blinkety blinkety blank was, the bang bang. She was an eyewitness to the bang bang that unalived Tupac. Foxy Brown, the rapper from Brooklyn, I wonder if she's going to get subpoenaed. But now I heard that since this documentary that was dropped about the Diddler, The Reckoning, that they pushed the trial back because they digging for more evidence. But according to Choke No Joke, he's like, this whole beef didn't really, he said what Mark Curry said, he felt like Mark Curry told the truth. They edited it up and cut it out like they do in most documentaries to make it salacious, right? I can go and do a documentary and say one thing, and then you're going to slice and dice it and play it. I'm like, I didn't even say that. That's not even what I meant, right? So he's saying that Diddy was not involved with Suge's man passing, that it was some other Jamaicans from up in the Bronx, and that's what Gene Deal was saying. But they spun the clip on Netflix to make, because you got people, Murad Morali or something in London, he's like Diddy unalived Tupac and Biggie. And that's the narrative that I think that 50 intentionally was trying to take away. Now let me really say something for a minute. It doesn't matter my opinion if I think it's right, not right. I was there, who I know, who I didn't know. The man is sitting in federal prison in New Jersey, right? What is it? Fort Dix? Hey everybody. Shout out to TikTok. Okay. Now, even if it's a lie, let's say it's a lie or it's a rumor. When you're sitting in prison, even a rumor is just as dangerous as the truth. It don't matter if people thinking in their head, I'm sitting here doing life and I'm a fan of Biggie or I'm a fan of Tupac, and then this documentary come out and the rumor spread or the truth spread or the lie spread that everybody's thinking that you did the blinkety blank to both of their two favorite rap. You in trouble. You dead in the water. And from what I hear, security, like, do you really have coverage? Do you have security? Are they just turning their head? Are they on the payroll? Do they even care? What's the number one and the number two thing that people don't like in prisons? They don't like a rat, a snitch. His father was an informant. They don't like a rat. That's number one. And what's number two? You already know, women beater, and the little ones. So if he put out, if 50 Cent put out this documentary trying to make it a rumor or a suggestion that he unalived the notorious B.I.G. and the legendary Tupac Shakur, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. That's all I'm going to say on that. So back to the doc. They call him a paper gangster. I thought that was funny. They call him. And another thing the podcasters are saying, I had a little bit of notes here, guys. I'm just going through my notes. Another thing a lot of the podcasters were saying, they all agreed we're on the same page. And I said that yesterday. I reviewed episode 1 and 2. This is supposed to be number 3. They all said the same thing. Everyone liked Kurt Burrell's testimony. Everyone thought he was honest, a stand-up guy, No one had anything negative or derogatory about him. No one understood why, if Diddy stole the 25% stocks from him, why didn't he call the police? Or he did file a charge, but he filed the charge too late, and then he got kicked out. But why would he stay? Because then he said he was SA, but he's not really sure. But then they were supposed to be having a relationship, so it's not really clear because he didn't really address whether he had the relationship or he didn't have the relationship. So that's like kind of murky. And then even after he got robbed, he was like, I still want to stay with the company because they're like family. My whole thing is, some people are like, look, you don't know what the music business is like. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You're young, you're a kid. What do you know about life? You just leaving your home, going out in the real world. Like Cassie, if you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Most people, when they're about 25, 30, they're a little too old to be in the music business. They kind of get you when you're young and you're very attractive and your voice is still strong and you got energy and you're going to just get up and be so eager to just go and do anything that people tell you to do, right? That's what you do when you're a kid. But you get into business and stuff is not happening when you like, you just get out. You get in the business, you don't like it, you leave. Get out, get out. That was with episode 4. I didn't get there yet with Little Rod. People are like, I don't understand you, Little Rod. He promised you a house. He promised you $250,000. You said you're waking up and you're inebriated, and he did the blickety blickety blank blank blickety blickety blank that I can't say because I'll get canceled. So I gotta, but I had to stay to finish. Like, make it make sense. If you're around something that feels uncomfortable, that you don't trust, that you don't like, get up and leave. I'm making it sound simpler. He wasn't getting any money, but I was going to get the Album of the Year award. I was going to be #1, get the Album of the Year. Okay. I like how they called him a paper gangster. Everyone was saying paper gang because he was cutting up the contracts. He was getting everyone signing the NDA. They said he wasn't really, everyone knew. They were saying Diddy was soft. But according to Wendy Williams, she called him the GAY gangster. They talked about Andre Harrell, how he was a father figure. Diddy never had a father figure. He taught him the business. A lot of people wanted to know why everywhere he went, there's always violence around him. Why this just is always violence. And that's what the judge said. That's what the judge said when he sentenced him. Because the judge was like, I'm not a fan. I'm not starstruck. You can't buy me. I see people like you every day. You happen to be a celebrity. You did some nice things in the past. But that can't negate the fact that I watched a video of you, bliggity, bliggity, blank, Cassie, right? And he knew he had violence issues, that he needed rehabilitation, that he needed therapy. I thought the document, which was crazy, that the male entertainer was like, every time that it was Biggie's anniversary, March 9th, of his unaliving, that he had to have a blinkety blinkety blank blank blank. I was like, that's weird. So that definitely shows he has some PTSD or some past trauma that he's not dealing with. And honestly, if I knew every time he skated, every time Diddy would skate or pay someone, or he had a dirty cop on the payroll, it's just like Suge. It's no different than Suge. You think Clive Davis didn't have dirty people on the payroll? You think, allegedly, you don't think Clive Davis, when Whitney Houston died, who paid Whitney Houston's funeral? The label? Her insurance policy? He paid out of his pocket? It was a tax write-off? What do you think? What's the difference? But he was just, we just over it again and again and again. And if that judge or room didn't put him sitting down for a little bit, in another year, 2, 3 years, we'd be back to shenanigans. It'll be a whole nother case, a whole nother something. Trust me. He can't help himself. And then what's crazy, on the tape, he's talking to his girlfriend on the tape. I think it's episode 1. He's like, hey, honey, I just deposited $200 million in the bank account. But yeah, he's so cheap. When his bodyguard was like, his bodyguard, I think it was Roger Barn, his son is in jail in Africa. I don't know what happened. His son went to Africa and he's been in prison for a while. And when he asked Diddy, he was like, yo, I need a lawyer. Help me I need to borrow, $20,000. He was like, no, this man is risking his life for you. He needs money for his child. because his child's in prison. His son's in prison, African. He tells him no. The other girl from Dirty Money, she was going through a divorce. She was trying to get custody of her kids. She needed like $5,000 for a lawyer. Asked Diddy, can I get $5,000? He was like, no. Even Craig Mack's wife said they were so broke. Craig Mack had a Grammy for Flavor in Your Ear, and they were broke. She said she had to borrow money from her father, and she saw Diddy one day. I mean, Craig Mack saw Diddy and was like, yo, let me borrow some money. I'll pay you back. And he pulled out a big wad like this of cash and gave him $100 bill. He's so cheap. They were just making it clear that there was never a Tupac and Diddy beef. It was a Suge Knight and Diddy beef, and Tupac and Biggie, unfortunately, was just a casualty of that. You guys ever stop to think why everyone on his label just ran away from him? Mace, Craig Mack, just the energy. Even Mary put up a statement. I can no longer deal with you. It's that demonic energy. It's that demonic. You can't be in the room with it. You can't be around it. You can't date. You like, oh, get that off of me. Get that away. It's that bad spirit. I'm reading my notes, just making sure if I didn't miss them. Why would I know I was talking about the other day about the quad studio shooting came up. If you guys think, let me know in the comments, if you guys think that Diddy was aware that a blinkety blank was going to happen to Pop. Do you think it would have been smart for him to be present in the building or to be MIA? If he was there, would it look like I didn't know anything, or would it look like you know something? Because that came up in the documentary too. They was like, how come every time something bad happens, you're always there? He's always around when something bad happens. I did review and go over the clip that they showed from City College, that when they were doing CPR and mouth to mouth, that he was just standing around. He wasn't helping any of those kids. He started out as a backup dancer. The part with Aubrey or Day from Danity Kane, I thought that was really I thought it was creepy, but also like playing chess. I don't know if she was advised, because she was like, somebody's telling me that I was violated, but I don't remember being it. But maybe it happened, but I don't want to know if it did. And maybe he taped me, but I'm not sure. Because I don't want to take a lie detector test, and I don't want to know. Because I think what the strategy, I think Diddy was trying to do, okay, let's say you have 10 civil cases, and all the public, we believe is true. So then Diddy goes, well, I got enough money. I'm going to put 50 civil cases out there and make them all lie. So to put doubt. So that's what Aubrey was trying to say. She was like, I don't know if I want to believe this, because it could be a lie. And if it turns out, if I take a lie detector test, or if I prove it to be a lie, that means that every other victim is a liar. So I thought that was really interesting and complicated. I think she was smart too. She didn't sign that NDA when he was giving everyone, take your publishing back. Remember that whole, I'm going to give everyone their publishing, because he was trying to silence them. There was another part they had mentioned, that when he was lied to by his mother, that his father had died in a car accident, and as he got older, he went and he found a news article about what really happened to his father, who was allegedly an informant and was, blinkety blank happened to him because he was working with the feds or whatever. And he said he read the article that his mother showed up with him in a chinchilla fur coat. So he had this mystical myth in his head that his father was this bigger than life kingpin, and his mom showed him in chinchilla fur, and that he's from Harlem, or not really from Harlem because he grew up in Mount Vernon, but that he had this like image of Harlem luxury and fur coat that he had to live up to. That's what he said in the documentary. It was almost like a mystical father figure. They did get into the part with Jodeci when he found Jodeci. He created the whole style, but they didn't give credit to Misa because I believe that Misa started in the fashion and that she was the one, I think, doing the dance routines and the baggy clothes and the baseball hat. I think she styled Mary J. Blige and Jodeci. Not that that's a big thing to go over, but I remember that they didn't really talk about that too much. Um, they didn't talk about he didn't touch on the making of the 411 Mary album. I know that was a documentary about that on Amazon Prime. Not that it mattered, but I I wonder, like the rest of the women, because Mary's been in his life from day one. I think he discovered her in the mall. Maybe she was 16, 17, 18. She had her own, abuse, alcoholism, trauma. Um, they've had what, a 20, 30-year friendship. And I wonder if he's ever, there was no one there to witness or to speak on her behalf about whatever trauma he might have put her through. I might be taking this too far. I don't really know. But that was just something that, I was like, okay, that didn't come up. They didn't address the age with Misa. I think she gave birth at, was she 19 years old or 20? I think she gave birth at 20. They didn't really get into the age gap of when he was seeing her. I know she was young. She looked very young. You could do the math. You could just, how old is Justin? How old was Misha when she gave birth? I think they were, maybe she was 18 when she met him and probably gave birth around 19 or 20, something like that. Mm. Then they go back to the East Coast, West Coast beef, and they're just saying that the Source Awards really just started. It's whatever Suge said at the Source Awards. And that he was trying to buy his girl Suge's chain. They keep going back and forth with Gene Dale about this $1 million check. Was the check written with the he put in a song. Did he put in a song? I'm gonna drop $1 million hit on your head on one of the songs. He actually said it. So I don't know if that was like 3 years after Tupac was unalive. He was in the studio with Mark Curry and they played it and it was an intro and he was talking in the intro talking about how he's gonna put a $1 million hit on people's heads and unalive them. So they put Diddy. So 50 Cent is really trying to paint the narrative that he unalived these two big rappers and he got off of it scot free. And here's the proof because he rapped about it. He said about it on a song. Would Diddy benefit from Biggie Smalls? Of course he would, because his catalog was only worth $10 million when he died, and it's worth about $200 million today. Depending on who's in charge of the estate, is it who's in charge of the estate? Is it, well, his mother passed away? Would it be Faith Evans? I guess it would be his kids. And does his kids have a character clause? Because now they're trying to bring on the new possible new indictment that there's possibility that they're bringing in Biggie's kid into it, which would be a character clause. So then you can't be in control of the estate anymore because you violated something legally. Like, it's just what they call paper gangster. Paper gangster. I'm gonna cut Biggie's dead, but I already named his album Life After Death. But I'm gonna make them dead man pay for his funeral. But I'm gonna cut out the middle of his contract and I'm gonna rewrite it with his signature on it and give it to his mother because I'm gonna rob his mother because he's a paper gangster. I'm gonna stick Cassie in an album deal. The girl have no talent. No talent. I mean, she's okay. I mean, she's not a Mariah Carey. She's not a Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston didn't even have a 10 album deal. 10 albums. She's 18, 19. You give her a 10 album deal. How? He never even put out one album. And then she was, oh my goodness. And then he's saying there, and then he's talking to her. He's a real PIMP. He is a real, when you say the word PIMP, that is him. Because she's like, he's like, well, she's like, well, I can't. What happened in the documentary, guys? You guys watch it because I'm running my mouth. I'm gonna jump off in a little bit, but there's a part in the documentary where he's wanting to do his blinkety blinkety blank 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 blinkety blinkety blank. You guys gotta fill in the blanks, okay? I'm not gonna say all that salacious stuff up on here, right? So there's a part where he's like, in his zone and his 14 days with his 2C and his ketamine and his pink powder and his baby oil and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I'm talking about Cassie. God. She's like, well, I can't do all that because I gotta go to work. She's thinking in her mind, she's like, I got an album to put out. I gotta put it. He was like, this is your job. You better get on your job. This is your job. I think she was in denial. I think she was brainwashed. And that's what drugs will do to you. I think she was like, no, I'm here for you to produce my album. You signed me to a 10 album deal. I was 20 years old and you promised me 10 albums. Now I'm 30. I haven't put out one. Like, we got to get in the studio and get to work. And she's watching, the making of the band take off. She's watching Danity Kane take off. She's watching Dirty Money take off. Mace take off. Everything he had, the Midas Ciroc take off. Sean John take off. Everything he touched. And she's like, I'm right here. What about me? What about me? I'm supposed to take off. Did you guys ever watch a movie? You guys ever watch that movie, The Perfect, is it The Perfect Match? Perfect Match, Perfect Couple. I watched it the other day just out of curiosity because that was supposed to be during the time when the Intercontinental, happened. And the role she played in that movie, I was like, oh my God, she got casted exactly for what the blinkety blinkety blank blank blank. I was like, oh Lord. You had regular actresses in there like Lauren London and just, regular that were fully dressed, that were actors, and she was just straight typecast for that type of role, which is unfortunate. Why does everyone keep saying that Justin is Wolf's son? I disagree. I'm sorry. As I'm on here, I'm going to talk about it. I disagree all day long because I'm just going to say it doesn't matter light skin, dark skin. We're the diaspora and we come in all different types of colors. Sometimes it passes generations, but from what I understand, and Misa even said it in the documentary, she was like, where is my child support? All this money he has, he's with Kim Porter. She had the baby. She wasn't seeing any money. And she had to take him to, they didn't talk about this in the doc, but this is supposedly was in the newspaper. She had to take him to Make Money Body Right join. Okay, make my body right. So she had to take him to child support. That's right. She had to take him to child support because he wasn't paying any money for child support. So she took him to child support. So he had to prove his DNA. So that's why everybody keeps saying that Wolf is Justin's father. Get that out of your head because he proved the DNA that it was that he was the father and that was that. Do y'all remember too? When I remember they brought that up in the documentary. They dug up everything about how he tried to bribe when he did the bang bang, the blickety blickety bang bang blank with J-Lo at the club when the girl got bang bang in the face. That he tried to bribe the limo driver. Remember, he was like, "I'll give you this ring. It's worth." What did he say? I think he had $1 million pinky ring or something. He was like, "I'll give you this ring and $50,000 cash for you to take the gun charge." And the driver was like, because Shine wanted to do him 10 years. He was like, I'm not. That limo driver was like, nope. And he said that in court too. He was like, Diddy trying to make me take this gun charge for $50,000 and I'm not going to do it. And what about in episode 4? I didn't even get in episode 4. Okay, I'm going to leave that episode 4 for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to come back to episode 4. I'm gonna be done with this. Be done. So I'm gonna leave this. Let me make a note of what I'm gonna talk about for number 4. Guys, let me know in the comment. Are you guys watching this documentary, or you just can't be bothered? Are y'all just up in here listening to me, listening to the podcasts? And the podcast, everyone's getting emotional, man. Half the people are like, "He did it, he did it, he did it." You know, he did everything that they said they did. And then the other people are like, "This is cap. This is a lie. They twisting the story. 50's petty. He's jealous. You know, one black man shouldn't be talking about another black man. This is bad. This is, you know, it's just." Because he left it to your he kind of just put the facts out there and left it to your imagination, you know, that you'd figure it out. I think that's pretty much all the notes that I have. That's pretty much it. I mean, some people like it's a must see, you must see it. Some people like don't waste your time. It's stuff we already know. I read, so I recently went and I read the Tupac files, the FBI files. I'm gonna come on here and do another live about that later. I thought that was interesting. It has nothing to do with the it has nothing to do with the reckoning of Diddy. All I'm just saying, if 50 put this out to use your imagination, and some people are really believing that he blinkly blamed Tupac and Biggie, whether it's true or a lie, you gotta, you know, if the man is sitting in prison, and that's a very dangerous place to be with other people thinking that. So I think 50 probably put his life in more in harm's way than it already is. Now I don't know if that was his intention or not. 50 was like, I do documentaries. That's what I do, which is true because he did BMF and he did a few other ones. I can't recall. He did his own, right? Get Rich or Die Trying, right? Did he do the Eminem doc? That was a good one. That one was good. Eminem. What was it called? 9 Mile. No. 9 Mile? It's not 9 Mile. 9 Mile is a place in Jamaica. What was Eminem's documentary called? Hold on. No, not the Green Mile. What was the name of that? 8 Mile. 8 Mile. 8 Mile. I was close. I was off by 1 mile. If you take 9 miles, subtract 1 mile, it's 9 miles. Oh, I wanted to share you this picture. Okay. Oh my gosh. Everyone was talking about her too. Here she goes. Who's the girl from the video? Here she goes. What was her name? Jody, and what was her name? I'm gonna have to Google it. Give me a minute, guys. I gotta Google something real quick. Is my battery going? No. What you guys up to? You guys working? Headed home? Watching TV? Just scrolling through TikTok? Let me see the cast. Cast of The Reckoning. I should have wrote her name down. I don't remember. Let me get it for you right now. But if you can look on here on the screen, she was on the cover of Going Steady by Steady Beat. There she goes. So she was a video girl. I'm not saying all video. I was a video girl. That don't mean I was a video vixen. I'm not saying everyone was a video vixen, but she was on the cover of Steady B. I thought it was Brucey B, but it's Steady B. What was the name? What was the cast? Executive producer. I'm trying to find the cast. Hold on. Joanne. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. More items. Oh, here. Joe Dixon Neal. Joi. Joe Dixon Neal. Okay, she was on the album cover of Steady B, Going Steady. So here's a picture right here. And then she had that letter from her mother. Did you guys want me to read that letter? Oh God. Do I have to read this letter? Let me see if I can find it. And then I'm gonna go. Joe Dixon Nail. This was all in the Netflix. So did he put a cease and desist and was like, you gotta take down this documentary? Letter from mother to Janice Holmes. He was like, y'all taking this down right now to Netflix. And Netflix is like, no, sorry, we got this legally because I think he always being a narcissist and so ego, he was doing his own documentary because I think he was going to be not acquitted. He was like, I'm going to be not acquitted and I'm going to sell this. And I think the videographer, they had to have signed an agreement. He probably's like, okay, I work for you. I'm a videographer. And I guess he had ownership because maybe Diddy never paid him for the material. I don't know. It's funny. It's like what he was doing to other people all his life, filming them without their permission, playing it, he wanted to be like Alpo from the Polo Grounds. That's how home was. Alpo, wasn't that movie Paid in Full that Damon Dash did? Wasn't that about Alpo? They talked about that. It went really bad. I was like, God, 50 went really bad. He started talking about Alpo. I was like, wow. If you guys are not from Harlem, you guys are not gonna know who I'm talking about. So basically, whoever videoed it, I guess he didn't get paid or he had the rights and he sold it. He sold it to on Netflix. I know he got a big check. That person got a big check. Let's see if we can find this letter. No. Hold on. No, this podcast. I'll put the letter up. People got really emotional behind this because some people actually, can relate to people who have been blickety blickety blank blank. So some people are angry, some people are supportive, some people are still like free Diddy. We're never gonna see another black um, male music mogul entertainer in our life. We're never gonna see someone who's gonna have music, liquor, clothing brand on that level. Not in our lifetime. That's not gonna happen. And then I heard what they were saying, some of the gatekeepers are upset that um, being exposed or that, I don't know. It's not just the music business though. I mean, I think this happens in Sports Illustrated. I think it happens in Victoria's Secret, allegedly. I think boating, the yacht club, the billionaire yacht clubs. What do you think they do? They get on their yachts, they look at the magazines, they look at Sports Illustrated, they look at Victoria's Secret, beautiful young 18-year-old, 20-year-old women in the models in their laundry, and they call up the agency. Hey, I like this girl. She's beautiful. Good. Next thing you know, the girl's on the plane overseas just to spend a weekend or a couple at a party or spend some time with a billionaire, and they go about their life. I mean, it's called elite trafficking. It's another, on another level, which is very common. Let me see something. Shout out to Ticket TV. I think he had posted this letter earlier, so I'm gonna jump on here and see if I can find it. Um, put this on mute though. Let me see. Was he live? Hold on, guys. Oops, my internet's down. You know what that means? It means I'm not meant to read the letter if it's down. Let's see. It was on one of these videos. I think it might have been this one. Hold on. Let me hit mute. I think it's here. I think I found it. Let's see. Let's see if I get lucky. I thought I could just put just Google it. You know, everything is usually on Google, but I guess not. Let me see. Is it on here? Nope. I really thought it would have been on let me look one more place. Guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. What are you guys thinking about all this? Did you watch it? Do you not gonna watch it? Do you plan on watching it? Can't be bothered. Don't care. You guys watching football? Into something else? You guys out shopping for the Christmas holiday? I can't find it. I'll find it. If I find it later and I come on live tomorrow, I'll read it tomorrow. Let me just put a note. I can't find it, but it's floating around. How arrogant. What an arrogant person. That's why he always filmed himself. And he got away with a lot. He got away with a lot. But you gotta let the universe do its thing. You know, if you believe in God and trust in God, you just gotta let it play out how it's supposed to play out, right? Let it play out how it's supposed to play out. I've also too the girl from Dirty Money. You know, Dawn allegedly made a lawsuit against Diddy, said she was blickety blickety blank blank blickety blickety blank, fill in the blank. You know what that means? Fill in the blank. The music was pretty good. Like when I was looking at some of their performances were really pretty good. So Kalina Harper, I wanted to get her name right. Kalina Harper, she was on there, and she talked about Kim Porter, how she wasn't tolerating any of the other women, and she played her position for as long as she could. And when it came to whatever the allegations that was with Dawn, she just was like, I think she thought there was like some chemistry between the two of them, but she knew that she really couldn't really address that situation because Cassie was in the picture. So they would like, listen, it has to be very, let me be honest with you. It has to be very magical or powerful to be in the presence of a billionaire. I don't care if that billionaire, what race they are, if they're white, black, whatever, just a billionaire, because you got to be like, you're a self-made billionaire. It's not generational wealth. So you must have been very intelligent and work ethic and gifted and lucky and blessed, and you robbed and steal and you had to cheat. It's going to be impressive because it's rare. If it wasn't rare, I'd be a billionaire. You'd be a billionaire. We'd all be multimillionaires. It just takes a certain, gift. You have to be shrewd, cutthroat, all of that to kind of get ahead. So a lot of these women that are probably like half his age, I think Dirty Money, they said it was about 27. So, you're impressed. You're like, wow, I'm talented. He's talented. We got great chemistry. We make good music. So you can see how there's some type of attraction. And I guess Diddy just came from, I could take whatever I want. I'm greedy. Whatever I have is my property. Whether you're my artist or not, I own you. And maybe she put her foot in the sand or she was nervous. I don't know. But the other girl was just like, I don't know. I didn't see any. I don't know. Leave me out of it. She was just like, I don't have anything. I don't know. She was just like, she was crying. She started to cry. She said it was just sad because if it did happen, that was her best friend. You don't want to see your friend be violated. If you love someone and you have a friend, a girlfriend, anyone, you don't want to see them violated. And if she's saying, and then you want to support your friend and believe them, but then they're in a group, so then we can't make money anymore. So that's the end of her career. It's just a problem. But guys, that's what they call it: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's just not in hip hop. You think this doesn't happen in rock and roll, jazz? You guys want to watch a good documentary? Go look up Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye's documentary. A lot of these artists, they live a sad, lonely life. You would think like they're loved and they have money and fame and entertainment and love. Y'all know he was blinkety blinkety blink 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 at the end of his life, right? Sad. I cried. I was young. I was a kid when that happened. I'm maybe 12. I don't know. I cried. I mean, that was just really, these entertainers, I don't feel sorry for them. They give up a lot of their life for us. And, we envy, we think, oh, they got money and fame, that they're happy. And a lot of them are depressed and on drugs, and they, you know, die alone in a lonely hotel room. It's just, the whole thing is so sad. But guys, listen, this is like day 2 of the Diddler, and I'm about diddly diddly deed out. But I'm gonna come back tomorrow with episode 4, and then we're gonna be done. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna read the FBI files on Tupac. I thought it was just, it is what it is. Let's just leave it at that. But anyway, guys, you guys have a good night. I'm out of here. Enjoy your dinner. Hopefully, I'll come back with some cooking recipes. Right? Okay, guys. I talked to you all day. I just hung up with. She should learn more about restrictions and the details. Oh, see, TikTok restricted me. What did I say? I didn't say anything. I said something. Your lot is not eligible. Recommend restricted research. Oh, no. All right. Bye, guys. Give me a thumbs up.